So, first thing we talked about was a couple of different ways to hit a bunker shot, right? So, one is I'm going to open the face a little bit because I always want to use the bounce. I never want to use this leading edge coming in. I want to use the bottom. That's going to bounce through, okay? So what we want to try and do is I'm going to open the face because that exposes this part of the club. So as I do that, you can see now the club face is looking off to the right of where I want to hit the shot. So there's a couple theories that are out there. One is from this point here, I'm now going to turn my body around so that point is more towards my target. Okay? So that's what I call kind of the half moon. So I've kind of got this half moon back here. I'm on this shot and it's straight. Now I'm just going to kind of move around that little half moon arc. All right? That's one way. Another way would be, and this is kind of the way I kind of prefer to hit it, is once that face is open, I'm just going to lower that handle because now that you can see that's pointed off to the right, now I kind of bring that back. The more I lower the handle, it brings it back towards me, brings it back straighter. I don't have to figure out that stuff. The reason I don't like the half moon personally for myself is that gets me sometimes to be a little too shallow or feel like I have to swing out, or sometimes they'll get me too steep, and it's too steep in a fluffy lie. It isn't good. Okay, it's okay for a kind of a more of a bare lie, but that's kind of what we don't. It's okay to do that. So we're going to try and do it more of a square stance, handle lower, face open. Okay. One other thing I always like to do is I like to try and feel like the heel of the club is dragging through the sand ever before the toe gets in. Because if the toe's going in, now where's the face going? It's going down. Those are the ones that kind of pop and stay here in the bunker. Okay? So I always want to feel like the heel's going because that's always going to get the club, the ball in the sand moving up. All right? So from the standpoint of hitting the shot, I do want to catch sand, so I know that my club's always going to come down about middle of my chest. So I'm always going to have the ball forward of my chest. I'm always going to have my chest where I want the club to come down. Right? So the more fluffier the sand is, to me, I'm getting a little bit closer to the ball. So we'll talk about fluffy sand and stuff in that second. The more it is more of a tighter lie, I'm going to get actually a little bit farther, but I'm also going to get closer to it. Right? Or I'm sorry, farther. I'm going to get farther away from it. So I'm going to take this thing off for a second. So as I take a look at these different lies, I've got a real fluffy lie. I've got a pretty decent lie, and I've got a very, I don't know if it's in my footprint, very tight lie. Okay? So to me, this all has to do about, again, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to get out? I'm trying to get the sand behind the golf ball out and sand under the ball out. Okay? So I should have done this opposite, but it's okay. We'll go this way first. So I want more of an angle here. I've actually got to get wider with my feet. What does that do to my spine angle? Gets me bent over more. That automatically gets the club moving up and down more. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Still, chest got to be kind of fairly close to the ball. Face still has to be open because I want to drag the heel. I'm kind of much more down. I want to make enough backswing, and then I'm going to control my distance and really kind of let my ball through. So now I'm here, right? Face open. I'm bent over more. My feet are wider, bent over more. Got the sand underneath the ball, sand came out. Ball's going to come out fast out of this line. All right? Mm-hmm. Now, this I don't need to be as wide because I don't want to do what? I don't need that. I don't want more sand than that coming out. So this is going to be kind of what I call my normal stance, like I was hitting a pitch shot. Again, though, I'm open with the face. I'm trying to get this part of the club dragging through the ball. Okay? Enough backswing to create momentum. ball comes out. Okay? So again, it's changing some stuff in how I stand. And it's not necessarily changing how I swing, it's just how I stand is going to create a different angle the golf club comes in. Now, real fluffy line, right? Kind of fluffy, kind of bad stuff behind it. Now I want to get taller. How come? If I'm bent over, I'm going to take all this sand underneath here, right? So I'm going to be taking that much sand out. I don't need that much sand. Ball's not going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still always trying to cut a small portion of the sand to come out, right? So now I'm going to stand a little taller. Still, same thing. I got the face open. I'm lowering the handle. That gets deep, okay? That's bent over too much. So I don't want to be that bent over, so part of this stuff isn't fluffy sand. I really got to get in and experiment with some bunkers. I'm going to get taller, handle can stay lower. Now I've got the ball out of the bunker.
Did you also stand closer?
I get closer to the taller. Right? So if not even close because I get taller. So let's work on the fluffy stuff first.